hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxter, on the panel this evening is Bridgeman and the Stattle Bear. How we doing, boys?
I'm absolutely fine, mate. Good to hear from you, and hope you're well, Bridgeman, as always. Glad to be on tonight.
Roger.
Aye, very good, mate.
All right, Bridge. He's on mute. I'll Roger him. Come on, Bridge.
Maybe I think you're calling him Roger.
I've called him a few names. How are you, Port Bear?
I'm very well, mate. I'm very well. I enjoy watching the game. It was pretty much as I predicted last night. As a Facebook faithful will back me up on tonight. I did predict 5-0, mate. So
I was so unlucky, mate. I predicted 4.
Did you?
2 in each half, mate.
Guess what, Ox? Guess what, mate? You were wrong.
I know.
Aye.
I know.
Aye. I once told me that on a show. I was wrong.
Let me think.
Aye. Let me think.
All right, okay, right. Well, listen, thanks for the call. Don't be a stranger.
I must have been the quickest guy to get that in history.
Listen, we were on the hiding up the night.
Aye.
Unglamorous surroundings. I mean, it was, but would have been all right for you, because you'd have thought you were playing in the port pitch. You look across, you see the big rocket, the bottom,
Aye, it looked familiar to me, mate. Definitely. But Ox, I've always see like these one round ties now. I think it's dangerous, especially when you're away from home. I wasn't expecting to get beat, but in football, mate, the football's a beautiful game where anything can happen. So I just, I wasn't expecting slip-ups, but with these one knockout ties, these teams are right up for Oxford. These teams are thinking, I can get a big scalp here.
I'm going to say to you, Port, they were well coached, mate. They weren't very good, but they were well coached, and they stuck to their shape very, very well,
Aye, but the only thing it showed through the end, mate, was obviously the fitness thing with it. Some of them are part-time. I think only 8 of them, if I heard the guy right, only 8 are full-time. So I think that finally caught them in the end.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, how you doing, Bridge? You with us now, Roger?
I do apologise, but something that just happened and my whole system just fell over there.
Okay, so, Roger, please. Can I
just say a happy good evening to everybody all over the world, all these Rangers fans. Great victory for us tonight. That's it.
I think the word I would use is professional, Port Bear.
Professional, mate, aye, definitely. As I said earlier on, what was to be expected? You're playing in a European tie. You're trying not to pick up any injuries. Tavernier, Goldson, Morelos with 2, and Defoe. We managed to get Tavernier off and young Patterson a wee game. So we protected a few of our players, but Ryan Kent didn't need to start. So I think it was a very professional performance tonight, mate, and a good chance to rest players.
And what about the attitude of Fredo Morelos, Bridgeman?
Tops. Roger on that one. Absolutely brilliant. I was pleased for him. I'm over the moon for him. 2 goals, comes on, 2 goals. And if there's anything in the world that will cheer that man up, it's scoring goals. And I thought 2 well-taken goals. A good header across the goal, and he's there, put it in. I know it was easy, but it's a striker's goal. And it was a beautiful pass from Defoe. And just easily beat the keeper. It's just marvellous. It was lovely to see him. Lovely to see him turning in that big smile he's got. And if we can keep that smile on his face, he'll be a really, really massive player for us. I don't know whether there's any, shall we say, anything we can take into this, but that they've played him so he's cup-tied, that kind of thing. I really don't know. But I'm just glad he came on and he lit the place up with 2 goals. I just loved it. Yeah, smashing player. Brilliant player.
There was a lot of wee questions answered. I mean, I didn't think he had a great game, but I had a bit of sympathy with young Greg Stewart. I know he's moving on, but to just come in, exactly kicked a ball, and you're playing in a glorified training session for.
I think, without slightly like too much, I think he was effective at times. For the header he put back across the goal for Morelos, at least he knew, instinctively to put it back across face of goal and gave Morelos his tap in. But he worked hard, mate. He worked hard. He was dropping deep. He was chasing back their fullback who kept bombing forward. So, again, he's come in for the cold. That most people didn't expect it. Although I had a funny wee feeling we might see some, stick and twist moments for manager of the day, players that you probably weren't going to expect to come in the day. So, effective, mate, but no, he flattered the deceive. He wasn't great, but he was effective.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had a fantastic opportunity to show everything he's got against that, shall we say, a lesser quality team. But the truth is that team at the back, they had 8 players across a line virtually. And they were tough. They were very, very hard, rough and tumble guys, And they battered everybody, They hit everybody with their body, shoulders, back, bum, you name it. So our players were taking a wee bit of punishment there. And I think Stuart was one of them. I don't think he had a great game today, but I ain't going to criticise any of our team, because I thought, great victory for us, great victory.
I liked what he done when they brought the boy Patterson on, but we also seen that the boy's developing, so let's not put him under too much pressure, Portmere.
Indeed, mate. Indeed. These are the times when you can bring in a young man like that. You don't want to bring him in at the start of the game where, what if you went out the first half and found it difficult? With ball on his back. So when the team's comfortable, I think you're one of the lads always saying on here, there's right times to bring these guys and bleed these guys, and that was probably the right time. Mm-hmm. Just get Tav off, get him wrapped up, and let's see, while the team's comfortable and in front, let's see what Patterson can offer, mate. I see good signs. I see plenty, in the quality terms for the boy, but let's not overplay him, mate. Let's let the boy develop naturally. We've got Tavernier there. There's players there that can learn that for, so let's just take our time with the boy, mate.
No rush.
No.
Tavernier done it again, Bridge. We talked about him last night. He third goal in 3 games.
And what a lovely goal. And that's, I keep whenever we're talking about it, I keep going back to 2-3 years ago when he was scoring good goals from free kicks and, getting involved. And he's doing all that. He's getting involved. And the goal was a wonderful goal, wasn't it? What a strike. What a strike. And I noticed him shooing some of the guys away. You're not getting it, Barris. Just go away, I'll take this one.
And my mate Hadji.
Yeah, my mate.
A good goal. Just when we were starting to maybe toil a wee bit, Port, and that just took the pressure off of me. I said, professionals are what I would use after that.
You're getting to that 20-minute stage, mate, and you're thinking, right, come on now. Where's my wee goal? We're all asking for it. I heard the boys all asking for it in last night's show. Get that early goal and really turn the screw in this team. But, Tav, Fox is going to be over the moon with the start of the season this year with Tav. He was a wee bit slower at the start, but as the games are going on, mate, James Tavernier is looking, back to his old self. And that's not easy for Ox here. And I heard the pundits, saying, the keeper's only 5'7", but it doesn't matter, mate. He put that in the tap pokey. There's not many keepers getting to that.
He's only 5'7". What's a save he had for the boy Stuart?
I did, mate. Yes, I did.
That was a great save. When I seen the replay, I went, how did he get that?
Yep. Definitely a great finish for Tavernier, mate. 100%.
Port Bear, I find that all these pundits, the ones that we know and we're talking about, they all try to minimise any good that Rangers do. Just try to minimise it and decry some good stuff. They just either don't admit that it's done, or they say, like that one, the goalkeeper's a wee fella. Well, so what? The guy's that fantastic free kick.
Loram was the giant, was he?
No, I don't understand what these guys are talking about. By the way, I have to say, we need to get a contract with some Rangers-minded people as pundits. I mean, this is disgraceful. This is Europe we're on. Dear, never mind. Sorry, started again, isn't it?
Aye, yep.
I know.
It's the guys, Oxford. It's the guys that come in for the cold for me tonight. See, like a George Edmondson as well. I thought that young boy was outstanding tonight. I think he's bit a fit wrong.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
He had a dreadful clanger. Huge clanger.
Yeah,
but he was using the word outstanding.
Right, not outstanding. I'll take that back. But he had a decent game for considering that he's been out so long. That's what I'm getting at. Right. He's came in unexpectedly.
He wasn't unexpected. I told Stevie G to play him on Monday night. You know, but I thought that was a wise move. I've got to say, big battle on injured. Hallander had 3 games, quite rapid, international, and then came in on Saturday when they wanted to play. I thought it was a wise move, Bridge.
Yeah, like I think well said, Edmondson. It wouldn't matter who the manager put in. They would if he takes away anyone. And he brings in, for instance, brought in Hallander tonight, and be over. To me, it's overly not overrated. It's overly good for the guy to come in and play, and I think he's been a lot of Rangers fans wanted him and do still want him to be part of a standard back four, and he's a good player. There's no doubt about a good player. I think he dropped a wee clanger tonight there, and it's that may hold him back a wee bit, that because the centre half should never. Sorry, pal?
Is that outstanding ducky hunt?
Aye, I mean you don't do that in the middle of the box. In fact, he's standing on the 6-yard line in the middle of the goals. You don't do anything like that. I don't care who's shouting at you.
I think the transmission get mixed up, don't they? Glasgow,
I think so.
That time,
I think so.
I think it. Well, he done okay. He did have a bit of a report. He done okay. I think the boys I think he's got a chance to the game. I think he needs games, and I think it might make sense if all the centre-halves are fit and Big Catty's come back for him to go on loan.
He's got time in his hand, Oxford, George Edmondson, and I think, obviously, with how strong we are back there, and Stardogs man, Big Nico, he's definitely going to be the 4th choice, and Nico's probably going to be one of these guys coming in. He gives me the impression, the big man, he's a fighter. He's not going to sit rest of his laurels and sit at the sideline and accept Goldson, Balogun and Hallander are the choices. So I think he will become like the 4th centre back. So I think the wise move to do, if it was me, I would be sending Edmondson out on loan to another Scottish club. Let him go and learn the trade in the Scottish game, mate. I think let him go and play in the rough and tumble of our game and see what our game's like. Let him develop. I think that'd be a sensible move, mate. I agree with you.
He needs to play a bit better games, for the boy's sake. If he's going to have a long career with us, I think you'll need that to get him under his belt and develop, Rich.
Absolutely. I think if you're going to keep, in any way, shape or form, you're going to keep him, he's got to stay at the club and play, and he's got to interchange to give them these, like games tonight, is a marvellous opportunity to play the likes of the younger guys. I'm impressed with Edmondson, and I like the young boy Patterson. But there was a couple of times when he got caught out as well. So it's all going to happen, but they need to be able to get in and be carried for a wee while, and let's go out and do it. So wonderful result for everybody involved tonight. Clean sheet, 5 goals, right through to the next round. Just you can't beat it. So the experience of that alone will do these guys a world of good, rather than being loan,
Mm-hmm. Right, okay then. If people want to join us, give us a phone. What's the number? Portbear, I know you like this one.
Yep, it's 0141 356 1972.
You might have to gear that again. Somebody's spreading coronavirus.
Sorry. It's 0141 356 1972.
Do you want to try again?
I think you passed it here, Oxford. And for the 3rd time. 0141 356 1972. Roger.
Roger.
Join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. You've brought in the call with Fox and Old School Blue. If you phone in, hang up and we'll phone you back. What can they talk about, Bridge?
They can talk about all things Rangers, but particularly the game tonight. And if you want to talk about anything else, there's many people on here that would love to talk to you about everything.
All right,
guys, how's it going tonight?
All right, Gary.
I'm delighted, mate.
Be happy with the result then, Gary?
The result is shining. I am delighted with the result. The performance was top drawer, but look, we went away in Europe and won 5-0. We've got to be happy. We rested a few players tonight, changed it up a wee bit, and we won 5-0. And came what? I hope the Rangers players have sat on that big yacht playing roulette with their big fat wallets on the table and send them to a few papers in Scotland just to see, with a big smiley face emoji just to say ha 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 ha. I really do.
All right. What Bill?
Hi, Bill. Not too enamoured about what doing over there, mate. I hope the boys come back. My biggest fear was the night was anybody getting injured, and I just hope, regarding Roof, I know he seemed to be holding his calf oxed there, so I'm just hoping in regards to injury-wise, the boys all come back fully fit, get back on the plane, get back on the road, again get wrapped up and get rested, and we go on to Sunday, mate. But you know, I think tonight's match was as you said earlier, you touched on it. It was professional. We done what we had today. I don't think we were at a second gear, mate. I just think we were just, going through the motions. I think you touched on earlier on like a training game, and that's what I hoped it would be, mate. Because I didn't want us to go over there and exert ourselves beating, the Lincoln Red Imps. And the stats I was looking at earlier on in regards, to possession, etc. I mean, we had 67% possession. They had 33. We had 16 shots. They had 9. We had 12 on target. They had 4. We had 8 corners. They had 4. 1 yellow card for us and 2 for them. I mean, that's decent stats, mate. That's just, as we said, a training game, but we still had plenty of shots on target, mate, and still controlled the game like we've done for most of the season.
Wise words, yeah. Wise words, pal. I think during the game, there was some point in the game where Rangers were like at 92% possession, Quite incredible figures,
At one point, but at one point we had them stuck in their own half.
Right.
We were really squeezing the game because they had every man behind the ball, and again with Barisic up wide left, Tavernier up wide right, and even Kamara was getting involved closer to their box again to meet an extra man to create space for to break them down.
I must have missed that.
I had to put my glasses on as well when I actually thought, who's that? And I seen it was Kamara. I was like, Jesus Christ. But
Gary, I would think that our team will be going to the airport right after the game and flying back, in fact. They'll not be that far away if they've been back just now, I don't think. What is that, 3-hour flight or something to Gibraltar Bridge?
Yeah, probably about 3.25 or something like that.
3.5 or something,
yeah.
Nah, they'll be on their way back. They'll be messing about getting back in their own bed tonight and take it for their rest now and get ready for the big game.
I hope that's what they do. I really do hope that's what they do.
It's a charter flight, so you would have to do that. You wouldn't be messing about the hotel. They'll be back tonight. Anyway, we've also been going with Jim. How are you doing, Jim boy?
How are we doing, guys? Yeah, good evening, lads. Everybody okay?
All right, Jim.
Yeah, all right,
How are we
Jim.
doing? Not bad. I'd like to talk about young Nathan Patterson. What a prospect we've got there. Future Scotland right back. So yes, absolute first class. I wouldn't have any problem putting him in that team just now. We even moving Tav one forward. I really wouldn't. I think the boy is fantastic. What a quality.
I've got to say, I like the boy. I've liked him since the first time near us, but I think he's about 18 months away to our first teammate. I think he showed his rawness tonight when he get caught out once up the park and once with a ball inside his left shoulder. He's still learning the game.
Well, he's not getting caught out any more, but we're right back. We've got to just now. No slagging him. Absolutely fantastic stuff just now. But as I'm saying, I think the boy Patterson, I did say there, what a prospect.
He's 18 months away, in my opinion, for the first team. And I've been right before, I think 1983. Portbear.
Hi, right, Jim, how we doing? I have got the same thoughts in you and Nathan Patterson, but I've watched young boys break into teams. And it's all right to bring them into a teammate when you're coasting at 3-0 up and letting the guy come in, and mistakes don't really matter. There's nobody going to really get on his back, but the pressure, doubles, mate. If you're starting a game and like Ox was saying there, the couple of mistakes that he made, before you know it, Connor Golden's on his back, or all the experienced players are down his neck. I would go along with. It's only my opinion, mate. Of course, I would use them when required. So for winning 3-0 or 4-0 in games, no doubt, mate, get him on, because he's a steady fullback, and I don't think he'll cause too many mistakes. But I think we need to take our time with him, mate. I do agree with you. He's going to be and what I've seen so far, he's going to be a player. But let's just, not build up the hype, mate, and let's just take our time with him and let the boy develop at his own pace.
Yeah, I think we need to help him with that. I think we need to help him with that and make sure whatever games we want him to play, that's got to be planned out. And if everything goes all right, you can bring him in the second half, and providing everything's good on the park, and let Tav get a wee bit of rest and bring the young boy in.
That's what the manager did say. That's why he brought him on, because he said that Tav said just gave him a wee rest. I don't think Gerrard was too happy with the performance tonight. Listening to him when he's. It
wasn't great, Jim. It was professional. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't the greatest game you've ever seen. That's it.
The park was pathetic, wasn't it?
What was that?
The park was pathetic.
I'm not a fan of the pitches, but I mean, it wasn't the greatest game you've ever seen. We've got to be honest, but there was some plus. I like the boy Patterson. I've liked him for the first time I've seen him, Jim. I think he is a prospect, but I just think you've got to be careful and get it right for the boys' sake,
Absolutely.
No, I did say he is a prospect, and I think he'll not be getting popped in there when maybe we are under pressure with Gerrard. But as I'm saying, I think he's doing the right thing just now. The way he's kind of bringing the boy in there. I mean, that's a few times he's felt he's been good enough to be put in that team.
Yep.
As long as he watches, you see there are times he's brought him on. The boy's done very well, in my opinion. There's a couple of mistakes because he's only a youngster. That's going to happen, and he's jumped up something like 3 or 4 classes here to get himself into the Rangers team, and that's just wonderful. And hopefully, as Oxford says, maybe 18 months. In 18 months' time, he might be starting to be ready to knock on the door and say, I want full team football, first team football, and may be able to actually do it. And we might be the ones that say, "Nah, let's get him in here." On the God Almighty, what was I going to say there that you said? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll catch up with it after.
On the Tav one, mate, we've had that debate before. And again, only my opinion, but I'll take it to there. I don't see Tav playing one up. I really don't. I think he's a fullback. That's it.
I think I've mentioned it on here before, Ox. When you're coming from deep for fullback position, nobody's picking you up, nobody's marking you because you're coming from deep. But you put Tavernier one further forward, he becomes a right mid, and who's directly watching him? A left back. So he's not getting the same time and the same chance to run at players and run deep for them late crosses. So it's a whole different ball game when you're playing one further forward, Jim, mate. Same in midfield. See the ones that I've heard that's put them in the centre midfield. I mean, it's like a hot toddy in there sometimes. It's just you don't get any time on the ball. And I think some players, like fullbacks especially, get caught out when they're one further forward, or people think you can transfer them into central midfielders. So I like Tav where he is. I think him and Barisic are absolutely playing out their skin at the moment. Barisic was outstanding again tonight. His delivery was superb. I heard one of the pundits saying during the game, I think it was Neil McCann mentioned it. He says, people assume that he's throwing balls in there aimlessly, but Neil McCann, I like myself, believe no. He is picking people out. He's picking people out in there. He's superb. Borna Barisic.
Did Barisic not have 3 assists tonight? The day this afternoon.
I think he did, mate. Aye, man of the match. I give him anyway.
There you go. You know what I mean? To one second, and you go.
On you go,
Sorry,
Jim.
on you go, lad.
On you go, Jim.
On you go, mate. On you go. No, on you go, sir. On you go. There, boy there.
On Gary.
No, I was just saying on about Barisic here. He he's got some engine on him, eh? He's like a train man. He was up and down there all day. 3 assists. Then you've got Tab on their side. Now, people say, oh, he does this in training all the time. It's different, like putting a body on the ground and banging it in the tap, going like that, training high. But when you're away in the European tie and you're just putting that down like your first shot at it, going and smashing it in, and they were arguing, Hadji was watching that. Dad was like, no, out the road, son. Smash. And it doesn't matter who you're playing. We were 2 leagues above that team tonight. And no goalie was saving that. That was right in the top corner.
I think we're the first Scottish team to beat Rangers in their home park.
I think you're accurate with that, Oxford. I think you're back 4 years.
How's that for a start for you?
That's a great start, mate. I think if you go back 4 years under Brendan Rodgers, I believe they get beat 1-0.
Who was the last team? So who was the last team that played them? Scottish team.
Oh.
Was it the team across the city?
That's a puzzler, Bridge.
I'll give you a clue.
Go on,
I'll give you a clue, Bridge. The manager was Brendan Rodgers.
Right, that's cool. And I remember he wasn't embarrassed at all when he get beat with 1-0 by them. Not embarrassed at all. He was raging, of course he was.
Yeah. Guys, can I say something else? Did you happen to see Gerard's interview on when they were talking about Morellis' record against Ali McCoy?
I've not heard that yet, but Jim, I've not heard Stephen Gerrard say, get yourself in mute and let's hear from you.
He said Morelos hasn't won a cup yet.
No, he said you can't mention two of them in the same breath, he says.
Well, he's right. Ali was a captain on question of sport. He's not done yet. Morelos, is he?
We saw on the cause brought fags back.
Aye, you're right. Also, right, get yourself on mute and we'll hear from your manager, Stephen Gerrard, MBE.
Stephen, a very professional job done here in Gibraltar tonight. What are your reflections on the 90 minutes?
Yeah, it was professional. Job done. That was the plan coming here. We wanted to get a win, a clean sheet, and move on to the next fixture because the next couple of weeks are going to be a lot more important and a lot more difficult. So it was about getting through, and we scored 5 good goals, kept a clean sheet, and really we didn't get out of first gear. I don't think it was a good performance. I think we made it complicated for the majority of it, but you know, we will take a lot of positives in terms of getting people minutes. Jermaine Defoe gets a goal, Buff gets a couple. I thought the goals were outstanding, and you know, it was nice to have the luxury to give people opportunities to play. Young Nathan again gets another run out, good experience for him. So we'll take the positives and move on, but the all-round performance, we didn't get out of first gear.
Again, no showing your strength at set pieces, the first 3 goals coming from them, which must be very pleasing for you. Yeah,
I think we've looked really dangerous at set pieces throughout pre-season, and we've took it into the season, and we want that to continue. We want Connor, we want Big Phil and Leon and George to be a threat from crosses, but sometimes you need moments of magic, and I thought Tav provided that with the first goal, so great to see.
Kamar Roof coming off just before half-time, was there an issue there?
Yeah, there is an issue, but we're hoping it's not a big one. He said he can feel a bit of tightness, so hopefully he's done the sensible thing and told us before it's got worse. We'll have a look at it in the next day or so, but hopefully, fingers crossed, he should be okay.
And then Tav, was that more just to get some minutes out his legs?
Just the rest for Tav. You know, I give Borna a bit of a blow at the weekend, and that's the reason why I went for young Nathan on the bench, because you know, I had an idea we would get comfortable today in the game, and then I could offload Tav, because it's very rare I get the opportunity to do that. So as soon as the game was done at 2-0, I thought get Tav off and give him a blow.
And just finally, Alfredo, on to 20 European goals for Rangers, just one behind Ali McCoy. Now, it's a sensational record, and he worked so hard and really did work hard tonight when he came on.
Listen, he's a top striker. He's an incredible finisher, you see, especially with the second goal. But the first goal is just as good for me because he attacks the goal frame, and I'm sure Ali McCoy's watching that will be very happy. But listen, there's a big difference between Alfredo Morelos and Ali McCoy. Ali McCoy's won trophies here. He was successful here. So, you know, we can't speak about them two players in the same breath, not yet.
Good point, well made, Jimbo.
Aye, it was, aye.
I can understand where he's coming from, but we still can't take it away with Morelos game by game. It's a fantastic record he's got, you know.
thought he looks as if he's got a wee bit of back about him, Alfie. He don't know, he just seems to be a wee bit more relaxed. Seems to be enjoying it again. For how long? Who knows?
No,
again,
he's a character.
He's a character. I still think we shouldn't be looking for any less than 20 million from him. That's my take on it.
Well, by the way,
on the going rate.
There are 2 goals tonight, and he's hardly played. He scored 4 goals in the season. Port Bear.
He's record setting to run next year. You know, I just don't want. I don't want him to be that guy. I know what Jim was touching on. I know what Gaffer was touching on. I don't want him to be that guy. With a guy that with his goal ratio and a guy his ability to leave Scotland and have won nothing. I think that'd be an absolutely travesty, mate, if Fredo Morelos leaves this country without a trophy or a medal, because he is that good. So I'm hoping, you know, I'm not sure in the rules the night next year. I'm not sure that's him cup tied for the whole tournament, because he's played in that game. I'd like somebody to confirm that for me. If he is, what it's telling me is maybe he's going to stay to at least January, or further on. I'd love to see him fire as to 55, mate, because this is, I don't want it to be that guy that's going to be known as Alfredo Morelos, the great goal scorer at Rangers that won nothing. And that's where I'd be putting to. If I was a gaffer, that's what I'd be saying to him. You know, fire us to 55 and pick your club next year. And I mean that next year, pick your club.
We're a better team than Morelos is playing for me. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I think if you look at us now, the squad's nothing like what it was when Morelos started. Very strong now in many positions, and multiple goal scorers in the squad now, and they're getting more and more like that. They're enjoying trying a shot at goal. I mean, 6 months ago we were complaining about them not having a shot at goal. They're all shot shy, blah blah blah. Now there's multiple people scoring goals, but I have to say my heart's on my sleeve at the moment for Alfredo Morelos. He's definitely for me the best player at Ibrox. He's just wonderful to watch, just wonderful. And what those 2 goals, exquisite, marvellous stuff.
Gary, is he our best player?
I think he's been their best goal scorer for a few years. His first goal tonight, people say, oh, it was a tap in. For him to get in that position and read the play, and then his second goal, typical Alfie. And as the boys are saying there, his stats, anybody who's a football fan who argues with his stats, well, to me, they're a fool, really. Honestly, you can't argue with his stats. He's a machine. He's looked like he's lost a wee bit of belly in the last 4 weeks. He looks hungrier. Steven Gerrard there the last 2 months has thought he was gone, I think, and he's bought a couple of strikers and he's changed the team, so all the players are getting involved with goals, we're hitting shots, and it's no just for years it's went through Alfie. Now it's gone through the team, and I think Alfie's reacted to that, to be honest. I think he's said, as the boys were saying there, you could pick your team next year. I hope he stays. I think he'll go, I really do, but as a fan and watching him scoring goals and what he's done for us, I hope he stays, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's looking good for us, whatever happens, I think. So I'm happy.
All right, mate. So people want to join us, Port, what's the number?
0141 356 1972.
Where else can you join us, Bridge? Or you can join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online, where you brought in the call with old school Fox.
Sorry, this person can't answer at the moment.
Phone in, hang on, and we'll link you right back.
Guys, I'm going to duck out and let somebody else have a wee go, okay?
Brilliant, Jim. Always a pleasure, mate.
No bother. Thanks very much for the call, guys. Thank you.
Cheers again, Jim. Cheers again, mate.
Cheers. No bother. No bother. Good night.
All right.
He's one of the good guys, your Jim, isn't he?
Absolutely magic. Absolutely magic.
One of the good guys.
All players are good guys.
Ah, well.
That's nice to say that. Thank you.
Have you met Fox, Gary?
No, in person.
There's always an exception to every rule, mate.
I always give people the benefit of the doubt.
Quite right, mate. Quite right. quite right. But I'm in the Gerrard camp, actually. I know I sometimes feel as if I'm a hard critic, Port Bear, but good goals. I think the point he was making, that we laboured were passing wasn't as crisp as it could have been. Oh, hello, evening.
Hello,
what's your name, mate?
it's Ian Fisterland, Paul.
How we doing, Ian? How's things, mate?
Right, Ian.
Oh, I'm happy bear night, right, lads. I'm just phoning to speak about Connor Goldson and how good he's been so far this season.
I will pass you to my centre-half expert, Ian. Rich man?
Yeah, I think I'm a big fan of Connor Goldson, and I think he's a smashing player. He's the one that's holding, for me anyway, he's bringing the defence the strength it requires and the leadership it requires, in my opinion. I think he's a smashing player for us.
It certainly is. He's bossing it through the back. He's controlling the game.
I must admit, I know it makes it look bad. I think his first pass tonight was like 30 yards past the player. But obviously, that was getting used to the pitch as well. But it was just weird, you know. Aye.
I think
we're at a time. Port Bear.
I think, Connor Goldson, mate, has from the start of the season, that me and you have touched on it several times. Last year and the year before, mate, he's been ever present, and I think he did what a lot of old school players did for the last couple of seasons. He was playing through the pain barrier, mate. He was playing when he was tired, and I think unfortunate with the COVID situation, but I think it's been a blessing in disguise for some of the Rangers players who have been ever present, because he looks like a guy that's rejuvenated. He looks fit. He looks strong again. There's a couple of times, and I can't remember their striker's name, but he was quite pacey. And Connor Goldson showed a turn of pace tonight, mate, to catching him. It was 2 occasions, and that's something I never really sort of had, down with Connor Goldson, was pace. But he just looks fitter, better, stronger. Like Bridgeman touched on, he's commanding his area. He's speaking a lot. I don't see him shouting and balling the way he used to. I think he used to lose control a wee bit. But he seems to be talking players through games along your back line, mate, and in front of him. And I think Rangers are reaping the benefits. Yeah, fully fit Connor Goldson.
For me, Ian, he's been my most consistent player this season. I'm not saying he's been my best at times, but most consistent all through all the games we've seen this season. And you come in.
I think he's the best Connor Goldson I've seen play for Rangers so far, and he's impressing me. Him and Kent are the 2 standouts for us. But I don't think Goldson's getting the credit that he's due.
I think people have been pretty complimentary about our on here with the piece this season, Bridge.
Yeah, I think so. And then, I think is that other players from other clubs are showing him a bit of respect, because he is not a bad player, and he's a big tough fella, or he looks like that to me anyway, when he's playing. And he's not going to take any messing about, I don't think. So I think they keep well away from him in that sense. But I think he's a smashing player for us. And you see the way he plays alongside Balogun or Helander. Fabulous. Just great to watch. Great central defender and a great partner for anyone.
He played any of the other 3 centre-halves at the stadium.
Gary, the point about Goldson, we've got to give him credit. That's obviously Balogun, Helander, Big Edmondson, and the friendlies, and then the night. He just gets on with it, doesn't he?
I think he's your main man at centre back. Whoever comes in with him seems to play their skin out, and I don't think he gets the credit. I think he's the anchor man, and he makes whoever's coming in play well. And as much as I didn't want to see Helander get dropped, I'm a fan. I want to see the new signings coming in. Balogun came in, played a blinder his first game, got injured. I want to see Balogun back with Goldson. I think that's going to be a great partnership. But we've got Helander, who's playing out his skin. So what happy days really. But Goldson's the key, I think. As Big Balligans came out and says that Goldson's in his ear, and they seem to just click. So, happy days, but we're spoiled at the back. Long may it continue.
Here. Good point, Ian. Good point. Who else? You mentioned Kent, but just talking about tonight's game, who was your man of the match?
My man of the match was Goldson.
Fair enough.
If I wasn't to pick him,
I was going to pick Barisic, surprisingly, considering we won so easily. Hope Bear?
Aye, Barisic, mate, all the way, yep.
Do you? I actually do. I thought that what's the boy's name in Dundee? What was the boy that came for Dundee again? For
Kamara.
50,000. Kamara. I thought he had a fabulous game for us tonight. I really did. Although I'll say it again, Goldson, absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. So well done for Goldson. But I got a sneaking feeling for Kamara. I thought he had a really good game.
I think Kamara had a good game because Arfield was playing good as well.
Hello, how are we doing?
Hi, fine, good.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
How you doing? What's your name?
It's Brian.
Brian?
Hi, Brian Clark.
What's on your mind, mate?
A couple of points. I think I was just looking at the scores coming in tonight, and it's a big. Despite everything, most things being really, really positive for Rangers this season, I think they've been fantastic. So did Joe, by the way. But I think we're letting people slip through our fingers, i.e., the scorer at the moment for Aberdeen in Europe, and again at the weekend there, was McCrory. I think that's not a great managerial decision. Man of the match last night for Hull City was beat Leeds. Greg Docherty. And one of the best players on the park tonight, despite his age, for me tonight was Patterson. Rangers got a great role to do, but we've got a terrible, terrible habit at Ibrox, which we didn't do in the 70s and the 80s, is we see things in the areas. The guy's too young, or he needs experience, or he'll make a mistake. But so did Wayne Rooney, so did Kelly, George Best.
Listen, mate, we've got a really bad line coming for you. I don't want to be rude, but we can hardly hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I've got an illness. Sorry,
all right, sorry. Can you just try and move your phone a wee bit then, so we can pick you up? Yeah.
Sorry, mate. What I think is that Rangers supporters the best in the world, without a shadow of a doubt.
Here, mate. You're right.
The most intelligent football supporters in the world.
Can I ask Brian a question?
Yeah, on you go, Brian.
Where are you from, Brian?
Braidwood, mate.
Where is that, pal, if you don't mind me asking?
South Lanarkshire.
South Lanarkshire, cool. So you're not that far for Ibrox? You're not that far for Ibrox?
No.
Do you manage to get to Ibrox?
I can't anymore.
Okay, that's right.
I've got a terminal illness, mate.
Oh, no.
But I went to Ibrox from 1967 onwards, and that was including when I lived in Germany, Singapore, Africa, Belgium.
Brilliant, mate.
I love Glasgow Rangers. Glasgow Rangers in my life.
Brian, can I just see if I can pick up your points right? You tell me if I'm wrong. You were saying about the boy Docherty. Did we let him go too soon? Was that the point you were making?
Absolutely. I think we've got a terrible habit of the likes of the Gary, Ojo, players like that, Adura. We have players just as good as that. Homegrown players, whether they be from Ireland, England, Wales, Scotland, whatever, or even some of the African guys like and Budi just now, Dapple and Budi. Fantastic players. and we're letting them. They're going to end up with bigger clubs every time, and we don't need to be doing that.
I think Hull beat Leeds last night. Bridget Dockery, man of the match for Hull.
I did. He
So,
played at Skinner. Watched the game. He played at Skinner.
We all like Dockery, but I don't know if he was at the level, Brian, that we're at this now, or we're trying to get it. Bridgeman and then Portbear.
Everybody knows, or everybody that listens to me anyway, knows that I wasn't his biggest fan. I think it was a bad mistake that Rangers made bringing him. Maybe when he's 24 or 25, that young boy, you could buy him from a club. I don't mean right now. You could buy him from a club, and he'll be close to being a good player. I don't think he's a good player now, but I'm not trying to take it away. He was playing for Leeds, did you say, or against Leeds?
He got man of the match
against who?
Leeds last night.
Last night, okay. So he's played against Leeds, who are now a Premier League team.
Wow,
what can you say?
He ripped him a new one,
I'm pleased for him. There's nobody more pleased for him than I am. I just think he seemed to be in a quagmire when he was with the Rangers. When he went away on loan, he seemed to shine a bit,
This will be his third club since he signed from Hamilton, and I'll guarantee he'll be the man of the season for Hull City as well. Let's face it, I could be man of the season for Hull City. But no, listen. Not just because of the condition I'm in just now myself, but this show's fantastic, and I love the passer, and I love the fact that you guys don't necessarily agree with everybody for the sake of it, but when you disagree, there's always a good point from both sides, all three sides, whatever.
Listen, Brian,
I'll thank you for the show. It's brilliant.
Yeah, listen, we thank you for your kind words. Really appreciated, Portbear.
Very much appreciated, Brian. First time caller, and I'm glad to hear you on, mate. On the Greg Doherty point, I just think sometimes, mate, it's down to systems, innit? Maybe under Gerrard's system, he just was never going to get, that level of games, or that amount of games, or to get that level that Gerrard required. But like you just touched on, he went to Shrewsbury and he get player of the year down there. He's now went to Hull, as you touched on there. He's playing against Leeds, a Premier League team now, and he's went there last night. And again, man of the match. I don't think a lot of us in here doubted some of his attributes, but there was just some of the attributes he didn't have in some of your views here. I think it's been documented on this show. I think Bridgman was one of them. Some people on this show reckoned that Greg Doherty was going to go away for Ibrox and end up some sort of the same sort of idea as John Fleck playing in the Premier League somewhere, in a couple of years' time. So all the best to Greg Doherty, mate. But I just think the system and the style of play that we look for and the intelligent type of midfielders that we look for, it just wasn't going to get a chance at Ibrox at this time, mate.
But can I just tell you one thing? This is fact. Greg Doherty is a great man for keeping in touch with people. There's one on Twitter. Greg is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'll guarantee you that Greg Doherty will be back at Ibrox in 5 years.
All right. Cheers, Brian. Listen, mate. Really, really good of you to call in. Really appreciate your kind words, mate. You've touched us on tonight. And you're welcome to come on and join us anytime you like, mate, all right?
Superb. Thanks again, guys. And just let you know, call Rain if they score against Motherwell.
Oh, you join us anytime you like, mate. If we can't support one of our own, what can we do, mate?
Oh, fantastic. Thanks again, guys, and have a good night.
Stay safe, brother. Stay safe.
You too. Bye.
Cheers, mate. Oh, well. That puts everything in perspective, doesn't it?
Aye. Nice of phoning in. Nice phone call, that was. Nice phone call.
All right. We've got a few more calls lined up. But I mean, I think Greg Docherty went with everybody's wishes. I think we've done that, but a lot of respects to Brian. I think he went with everybody's wishes, but didn't he? Best wishes.
Aye, 100%, mate. None of us in here were ever derogatory. A Greg Docherty.
Well, there was one guy, but we'll forget that.
But you know, that one guy certainly wasn't, as I said, over the top. I think you had a critique in his game, and you saw a flaw in his game, and you know, you were right, because I agreed with it. But whenever he seemed to go and play in different systems and other teams, mate, it seemed to work for him. And I think that's what teams have to do. They either go have to build their teams around Greg Docherty, or the system has to fit him. And his Shrewsbury time, and obviously he's hit the ground running at Hull. You know, best of luck to him, mate. And as I said, I hope he does do what, you know, some of the guys on here say they would do, and goes on to play at the highest level he possibly can.
Here.
Yeah.
Can I say something on that?
Why don't you go?
I'm not been a great fan of Greg Docherty, but when he's came in, I think he's really been unlucky. I think he's got in great positions and really the rub of the green, or whatever you want to call it, went against him. But
Rub of the blues.
Stevie Gerrard's a football man. He's doing the best for players who want to go away, and if players were not going to get a game, and Steven Gerrard knows they're not going to get a game, he's moving them on to clubs who's going to play them and that. So all the luck to the Greg Dochertys and the players who can't get a game, and Stevie G's sending them away. As long as if the manager thought they were going to do a job for Rangers, the players would have still been there. If they're away doing a job for other teams, fair play to them and good luck to them. All the best. That's all I'd like to say.
I would have loved Greg Docherty to be a star for us. I loved Andy Halliday to be a star. Graham Dorrans, you know.
Exactly.
They're all Rangers supporters. But it just didn't work out for different reasons. That's the rub of the. That's the rub of the green.
That's what happens in professional football. It's a cutthroat game. And it's like margins in there.
You need a bit of luck as well, Gary.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
I think, for instance, Ross McCrory, the sort of latest one that went to Aberdeen, he seems to be doing very well. And nobody at Ibrox, no Rangers supporter that I know anyway, would wish them anything other than good luck. Because they came and they tried their best.
Man of the match.
Well, I'm saying that he's playing. He
Gary,
seems to be
can
playing.
you just hold your reach when people are talking, mate?
Sorry, mate. I had to get that.
He's just. It doesn't really matter how many man of the match he gets. I'm just saying, when he's left Ibrox and he's found a new path to a new career, and he seems to be doing it really, really good. And I wish him nothing but the best. And he's been a smashing player for the Rangers whenever he was called on. He's got a wee bit faults here and there when he was playing for Rangers, and that's the same with all of them. Otherwise, they would all have been stars for us. So it doesn't. Greg Docherty, young Ross, as some of these boys that were played in it. That boy, who was that boy we brought from Norwich? Graham Dorrans.
Yeah.
Was that Norwich? Oh my goodness, what a fantastic player he was. He wasn't in it. Wasn't hardly played for his 2-3 games, and all of a sudden he's injured, and that was him.
That was an assault.
Absolutely, another assault.
Port Blair, if there's ever a message for people who leave the club young, it's Dave McPherson, isn't it?
100%. That's exactly what you've hit the nail right in the head. Hit your nail right in the head. You know, nobody's ever said these guys don't come back. And I think you touched on the start last night. I think was it 20? He says have only come back, and you come back a second time and made a success of it. You know, sometimes you need to go away. Oxford Rangers to me are a top level European side now, right? And I think sometimes in football, I'll give you an example, in junior level, sometimes you need to take a wee step down into maybe the amateur game again to get yourself back in the game, get yourself playing regular before you make a step back up. So maybe that's what these guys have had today. Going to a wee step back, doing a level. Hull's probably it's a lower level than Rangers, but it's not saying they might not come back Oxford and come back a better player. But it's sensible sometimes for your career to step back, go down a level, and then get regular games, and then you never know what's going to happen from then. But it's all up to the individual, Oxford. And I always say this, people say, you know, they'll blame the manager for not liking him or the coaching or the systems, but it's what you want. What's inside you? Do you want to get to that level? Do you want to get back playing for Rangers or further than that?
I mean, I think that there's too much better systems. Look at Linda's last night, 4-3-4.
Aye, poor Linda. But that's the way she wanted to play. That's the way she wanted to play.
So anyway, we've reached that. Oh, we've been joined by another caller before we go to the tune. Evening, caller.
Hi there. How's it going?
You're going to have to speak up. I think it's Stevie, is it?
Yeah, it is indeed, aye. So you've obviously got my name from the last call. How's it going, guys?
All right, Stevie.
Hey, Stevie.
Yourself, mate.
Aye, good, aye. Listen, I just wanted to give a wee shout out tonight to Tavernier, Golson and Kamara in particular, because I don't think people appreciate how good they are, and they're often a target for the B-boys. I know that everyone's entitled to their opinion. I get that. They pay their money, they watch the game, and they're entitled to their views. But in previous seasons, it's been like, say, Josh Windass and Daniel Wilson that got pelters, whereas the last season, it's been these three guys that I mentioned. And everybody seems to think that, you know, there's better players there's other players that we're letting go that we should keep. But realistically, we can't keep every single player that we have on the books. We've got to keep a certain amount of talent. And I often say after I watch a match and watch all the criticisms that it's such a shame that the people that really know how to run the club are too busy driving taxis and cutting hair. You know, we need to get behind the team. It's such an important season for us. It is the way. It's such an important season for us. We need to trust in Gerrard and we need to support the boys, even when they're playing poorly. We need to lift their spirit, not get on their back. It just doesn't help.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, Stevie, and a lot of that very, very popular with a lot of people. But of course, the only opinion that counts on here is Bridgeman's.
Well, no, there's something in that.
What a shocker! What a shocker! Unbelievable. But you're right.
Me and Port Bear are only pantomime's horses, so Bridgeman can be a star.
What a shocker!
So right back to you, Stevie. We'll have a tune and then we'll take up your point. Great point. Get yourself in mute, lads. We're going to have a tune.
Brilliant.
No worries, guys. Have a nice one.
We support the Glasgow Rangers, down at Ibrox is the place, and we will follow in the championship race. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. It's true, the magic boys in blue are the best team in the land. You've got to cure and govern to get a ticket for the stand. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We've spent a lot of money on great players, yes, that's true. But the Rangers fans deserve the best from the boys in royal blue. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. The story, it was dismal, full of gloom. Now we're building an extension for the Ibrox trophy room. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. In Europe we'll be travelling by land and sea and plane. The teddy bears have got the bears and we're on the march again. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest
Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that, Fox. You enjoyed that one, Bridge?
Oh, aye, absolutely.
How would you describe that number? Is that a faster number for you?
It's a wee bit faster. I prefer the lighter number, so it's a lighter singing number. But it's still a good number. Still a good number.
You're not a jiver anymore. You've slowed down a wee bit.
Remarkably. Slowed down remarkably, that is for sure. I'm not a Port Bear. Port Bear's still a dancer.
I don't know if he is, mate. I think he's one of these guys that stood at his side, mate.
Do you think so?
Aye.
Oh, Port Bear.
What do you think yourself? What do you think yourself, Bridgeman? What do you think?
What? I've just said you're a dancer. I think you're a dancer.
Oh,
but,
aye.
Oxtear thinks no. You stand at the side and.
Oh no! I swam through the dance floor.
You're going to tell me you're a championship driver when.
Oh no!
Dancer.
I swam through the flare. I was always cutting about the flare. Oh aye, giving it the old swim, cutting through the flare. Oh aye. I hate, them weirdos standing on the side. Oh,
that's what Oxtear says you were like. You were one of the weirdos that stood.
No, I'm not having that. I'm not having that, Oxtear. I'm not having that at all.
Roger.
Touched on air there.
Roger.
Roger Ramsey.
Oh, you're bragging now then. Are you bragging now?
Stevie came in and made some good points there. And I think last night's show, Fox played it about 20 times a day. He caught that one bit and just kept playing it over and over when everybody was bumming up James Tavernier. And he done it again tonight. Maybe he's just got a bit of confidence back. But
Sorry.
Gary,
mate. I agree, Ox, but I think he comes under the same sort of category as Goldson, mate. Far too many games, and that's not a criticism. It's definitely not a criticism, mate. He was never present. I think Gerrard's on record saying he's only missed 3 training sessions since he came into the club. So I think it just didn't, mate. He's had a rest. His batteries are charged and he's ready. He's ready for this season. But can I just add, Oxtear, and I don't know if you feel the same, I think there's a character shift in your team this year. I've got this feeling that these guys finally know what it's all about. I'm going on what I'm seeing on the park. I'm going on what I'm seeing with the clean sheets. I seen something that I saw Barisic. I watched the Dundee United highlights again this afternoon. And what I seen was... I know, but my days off, mate, football's for me. So basically what I'm going to say to you is, I never would have said Borna Barisic was one of the guys that would, back up his mates. He's quite a... I'm not saying he's a coward, mate, but when Alfredo was on the deck, he was right up in the players' faces, mate, at Dundee United, and he was angry, mate, angry.
Who's doing it? I think it's Bridge doing the rustling. It's got to be, is it?
What you got, Bridge? What you got?
What have you got, Bridge? Which sweeties you got?
I've not got anything. What are you on about?
Come on.
He
doesn't like sharing.
Sorry,
he's not
boys.
a sharer.
Sorry, boys. I'm sitting here. What was that? What did you say? Share about what?
You're not a sharer.
No.
Chocolate eclairs.
I'm not going. You don't let me buy anything, for God's sake.
Oh, dear. He's trying to kid on these sweeties now. Unbelievable.
It's because he doesn't want to share a walks here. Sit in this studio starving. Sit in this studio starving and not share his sweeties.
All right, okay. Right, so, Bridgeman. I don't know what that was. Bridgeman, Connor Goldson, I think Stevie made a point. Last year, he did get some criticism. Sometimes deserved, sometimes OTT. But this year, consistently on here, people have been coming on and saying he's been our most consistent player. Fair? Come on, Bridge.
That's it, meeting him on the fly now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right, 6. I'm in. Can you hear me? God save us, I'm talking away.
I know you're a first time caller, aren't you? Bridgeman. Right, that's it. Fox, bag him. Right, anyway, we've been joined by Blue Star. At least knows how to work his phone. Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, guys. I think Bridgeman's working at the same speed as he did on that dance floor.
Oh dear.
Ox, I see the guy that really impressed me tonight. I thought listen, I'll tell you, you're in my age group. Derek Johnston on there in the night, seeing the first half, I'll tell you, we would have been about 5-6 easy up. The guy, Barisic's deliveries in that first half were absolutely exceptional. And how nobody got on the end of them, I'll just never know. Never know. I mean, I know Goldson got one, but oh my, he must have put in easily 7-8 absolute brilliant balls. And there wasn't a soul diving in to get into them. I don't understand that at all. I really don't. But don't get me wrong, they played well enough. And considering, I don't think Wania's got anywhere near the team right last night for the players that he put out. But they certainly played well. But no, I thought Barisic's deliveries tonight were unbelievable. I really did.
All right, cheers, mate. I think a lot of people, he was one of our better players. Maybe I gave him man of the match because he's an assist. I thought him and Goldson were our best two players personally. We'll be joined by Alex. Evening, Alex. He doesn't know how to work his mute.
The music on that dance floor is definitely too slow.
Sorry about that. I done a bridge, man. There.
I'm just going to say this, Port Bear. We shouldn't work with animals. Children.
That's what they're talking about. Thank God I'm back.
Nobody missed you.
Brilliant.
I know. I did.
The Moonies are finished.
The Moonies? Oh, who's that? Is that Blue Star? Is that Blue Star?
It is indeed.
Oh, is that you shouting and bawling about dancing? Oh.
You were that slow in coming off.
I couldn't do nothing. I was stuck, pal. I had to reboot the whole machine. However, I have to say that you and what? What do you mean?
Your machine.
Well, it seems to.
Anyway, let Alex get in and get his point.
All right, Colin.
That ship has sailed. Evening, Alex.
Hi, Ox. How you doing, pal?
I'm all right, mate. I'm surrounded. I feel as if I'm in. I don't know where I'm or I've got Bridgeman and I think he needs to go and get drug tested.
Surrounded by incompetence.
Oh, mate, I just don't know, mate. But, it makes it all the fun of the fair. We're totally live.
Oh, definitely.
The show. How you doing, mate? What's on your mind?
Aye, fine, pal. I enjoyed the performance today. I know we weren't up against a good team or that, but I thought the guys went out there and done a very professional job, as you said earlier.
Aye.
The team that Gerard picked, none of us is getting good at this, picking a team now, because Gerard's actually quite like that. He's not becoming too predictable with his team lineups. So I think that's actually quite a good thing, because if we're not guessing his team, the opposition manager's not got to guess his team either.
And even once you get the team, it's how you work out how they were playing. I mean, I couldn't get where Roof was playing personally.
He was just kind of floating about, wasn't
he?
Aye. His link-up play with Hadji and that was very good, I thought. But a very professional performance, and it was good to see Gerard utilise his squad by bringing Edmondson in and McGregor in, give them game time as well. So everything's looking good, and brilliant to see with Alfie on the park and getting a brace stay and Defoe. So listen, everything's going great.
Young Defoe coming on.
Can I say
young
something?
Defoe,
There you go, Gary.
I was just going to say, over the last few months, I've heard Davis, his legs, Defoe's fast fit and all that. Defoe showed tonight he doesn't need his speed. He's still got it, but he didn't use it tonight. And his touch to set up Alfie's goal and his own goal. I mean, he's been out for months and months. He just came in and it looked like he's never been away. I ken that wasn't a top-class team or that, but Defoe done well when he came on.
Here's a challenge for you, Port. Yeah, I'll make you. Defoe's ratio goals per minute
Come on, Stato.
I'm thinking.
Stato. You should have that one worked out already.
I think you need Linda to work that unit.
I know. Geez, what did you say? Goals per minute?
Aye, on the pitch. Because he's returned. I mean, a lot of the goals he's come on and sub and scored, he's done tonight.
You mean last season?
The whole time.
I don't even want to have a stab at it because I probably get it way wrong. He's probably averages a goal a game, mate.
How can you get it wrong?
I know.
Love it, by the way. Love it.
Right, go enlighten us. What is it, Oxchair?
I don't know. That's the question.
Oh, you asked the question.
You're the start man.
All right. Next question.
That's your homework for the moment.
Listen.
Aye.
This job. I want to be Stato. Fox, let me be Stato. What was it like, Bridge? It was embarrassing, wasn't it?
Extremely embarrassing. It's like he's dancing, by the way. It's just like he's dancing. Dreadful.
And now we gave him a job, Alex. One simple question.
Ask him to cook a steak with Bristol and it'll be
Hey,
fine.
hold on.
Did you say Bristol on a steak? Alex, did you say Bristol on a steak?
Right, do you want these stats? Do you want these stats or no?
Aye, go on then.
Right, Jermaine Defoe's shots on average are 0.48 goals per game. In club competitions last season, average was 0.18 goals per game. He scored 8 in 45 club matches. That's his stats as we speak.
He scored 8 in 45 matches.
8, that's not great.
No.
He scored
That's wrong.
You're right, Mr. Stato.
He scored 20 goals last season, did he? No.
Was this only in the league?
That's only in the Scottish Cup.
Only is it? No, is that just in the league? Because he put. I'm sure he scored a couple of cup ones and some European ones too. Did he not?
Can it be right?
The phone top scorer last year.
He's played 52 games for us. 25 of them has been a substitute, and he's scored 27 goals in total. Now, what I want you
that's a big difference, is it? No.
Yeah. What I want you to go away then is find out how many minutes he's been on the park. To find out with 27, you have your answer. Port Bell.
No comment.
We definitely leave Linda now.
Linda, I'll tell you what, Linda would have that worked out better. She's good to work.
Linda's been on the Prosecco.
Well, Port Bell's been on a one like.
That skipper has just put a comment in the lobby saying sack Stato.
Oh.
Where did you get that start for Stato?
I'll be honest, Wikipedia.
He made it up.
No, he did not.
Maybe asked his missus. He might ask his missus.
Must have had his missus' glasses on.
Remember the thing about Wikipedia, the bit of the side that's only always just league games, mate. All right.
Roger.
But 27 goals and I think he's about 27 starts, obviously, minutes per game. He has got some ratio for us. Sorry, 27 starts and he scored 27 goals and our 25 performances as substitute. So he's got quite a good return, but that's the point I'm trying to make, even though he's in the twilight of his career.
I think that does
Sorry, lads.
No, man, Gary, do us a favour. Put your horn up when you want to speak and I'll come to you, yeah? There's a message in there, Gary. Thank you. Carry on, Port Bear.
There's been guys in here well documented and saying, about Defoe's returning goals, mate. If you look, through his career, he's always done it. And then a lot of people criticised him on here, because he was in the twilight years of his career and he got up here. A lot of people say up here for a payday, but if you look at his goals, as you said, mate, per game since he's joined Rangers, he's definitely been, you know, a great player for Rangers in my eyes. I think it was Alex on here before saying, when we were all asking, did we think what sort of, you know, part he would have to play this season? You know, and he's already come in his first game back United, mate, and scored a goal. So, you know, it looks like if he continues on that goal trail, we definitely will, you know, benefit from Jermaine Defoe's goal, mate, because the goal he got in one move, he takes the ball, controls it, turns and scores. That's instinct, mate. You don't learn that. That's natural instinct that Jermaine Defoe's got.
He scored another one that got chalked off, didn't he? I thought it was excellent goal.
Aye. I think he's got something to offer. A day edge towards the JFK that maybe we've done the wrong thing, but I think he has got something to offer. I think on the park and after park, Alex.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. Definitely, mate. I mean, I think you noticed it actually. See when Alfie, when Defoe came on the park, he got his pal kind of on the park with him, didn't he? It was just so pleased to see him kind of up alongside him again, and it just brought it. I think he's just that nice a guy that he just brings the best out in everybody round about him. So he's got a vital part to play off the park with his experience, but he can still do it in that penalty area. You give him half a chance.
We're talking about Jermaine Defoe.
You're too modest, Ox.
Blue Star, you're a harsh critic. Then we'll go to Gary.
Ox, I like the wee guy. I was happy when we signed him in that, but I've got to be truthful. You're not going to get full games at the wee guy. He's all right for whether it's a sub or, as you said at the start, minutes per game. Very, very few games is he ever going to be on for 90 minutes. I can't see that at all. But I mean, don't get me wrong, he's always going to score goals. There's no doubt about that. But you're not going to get anything like 90 minutes out of a game out of him. You're just not.
And we come, Gary.
Jermaine Defoe, I'm a fan of Jermaine Defoe. It's a pity he's at the age he is. He's scored goals at every team he's played, international. I would love to see Jermaine Defoe get another contract next year, but maybe not even playing in the team. But working with the young strikers at Murray Park, I would love to see him getting a coaching role.
All right. How we doing, caller? All right.
How you doing, mate? Tell the wee man he was fine, actually, believe it or not, right? He was right about Morelos, by the way, staying at Ibrox.
Gives a clue.
Do you remember that a few weeks ago, by the way, when I was talking about was Morelos was going to leave Ibrox, and then, like he said, he was going to stay?
Aye. Oh, mate, I can't remember yesterday, and you asked me to remember.
I thought it's all the Celtic supporters that can't remember what happened yesterday and all that.
No. We're busy men over here. Well, we don't know if Morelos is going to stay. It's looking a bit more positive. But if he does stay, he's a big part in the jigsaw for us, Roy, eh?
Oh, honestly, mate, it looks like he wants to stay now.
I'll take that at Blue Star.
It looks like he wants to stay.
No for me. No for me, Ox. I'd love the wee guy to stay, because we all know that. Listen, there's nobody at our club is anything like as good a goal scorer as Alfie. That's certainly not at the moment. But if a decent enough offer comes in, there's absolutely no question about it. The wee guy's away. That's a gimme. The manager's already said it. But they're looking for it to get as much as they can.
The only thing I've got doubt about it now, mate, is because he's played the night. That's my only doubt, and it's only because I'm not sure.
Europe, by the way.
Right.
And a whole season and another season. Like, that's 20 goals he scored.
Aye, Roy, can you let people finish? Then we'll bring you in, mate.
I no bother, mate.
Right. Cheers, Roy. The only reason I've been casted doubt, Ox, and I've been watching some of the things on social media the last couple of days that Fiorentina are waiting to sell one of their top defenders to finance Alfredo's deal. I've seen probably Blue Star's probably reading the same stuff that I'm reading. But the only thing that's casting doubt in my mind is this cup tie situation. Because he played the night, is he cup tied now for the rest of the European Europa Cup? And if that's the case, I don't think teams will want to touch him because he's cup tied now. So, is that telling me he's going to stay at Rangers and just try and, get his nut down? And as I keep saying this, fire us to 55 and get us, the title that we so deserve. And then, as I said, he can pick his clubs next year. I hope that's the case, but I might be wrong. But it's a cup tie situation.
You look at it in one go, right? When you think about he's getting so close, by the way, to beating Ally McCoist's European record. He's got one more goal to go, and he's beat Super Ali's, 21 goals in Europe.
I get that, mate, but we touched on something earlier on. He's won nothing.
Oh, that's...
He's won nothing, and that's one thing I don't want Alfredo Morelos to have for the rest of his career. You came to Scotland. You've came to Scotland, and you didn't win nothing in a team like Rangers. That's going to hang over him, in my opinion, mate.
All right, I've looked at one go, my opinion, by the
way. Roy. Slow down. There's a lot of people in here. Go to Alex. Alex.
Jeez. Doing a bridge, man. Here is cuffed as well.
It's contagious.
I'm kind of in agreement with Port Bear. I think that there might be I'm being cup tied now because he's played in Europe tonight. So I don't really know. It's a weird one, but I tell you what, I'm delighted to see the attitude change in Morelos. He just seems to be happier than now, and he does look as if he's worked on his fitness during the international break. So I would love him to stay because I think the wee man, you give him service, he will score goals. But we'll just need to wait. There's another couple of weeks before the transfer window closes, so hopefully he does stay.
Bridgeman, you're a fan, mate, aren't you?
Very much so, yeah, very much so. I really do hope he stays. I think he's the best thing since sliced bread, if you follow what I mean. I really do think he's a fantastic player. I do really believe if you get him with a smile on his face, because that's the Alfie we want, and the things that make him smile is he's playing well and scoring goals, and people around about him are responding to him and working with him. If he gets to that stage where he's isolated again, he'll start to fling his arms about and scowl and goodness knows what. That's the one. The Alfie I want is the guy that was playing tonight. Came on, two masterful goals for me. Brilliant, absolutely well played goals. Good header from across there. Obviously a striker's goal, 3 yards or something like that. Maybe 2 yards for the goal line. Marvellous. And the second one, a beautiful pass with the four. Wonderful, wonderful strike. Goalkeeper never even seen it. Marvellous. And that's what Alfie we want. Just out there, do the thing, and when he turns round, a big smile. And the whole world knows it. It makes a big difference to him. Make a big difference to us Rangers fans.
When you see how Morelos has improved, Gary, he brings players into the game and plays with his back to goal. These are all things that he couldn't have done when he first came into the team. What's that, 3 seasons ago now? He has improved a lot, and he's a team player as well as being a finisher.
100%. That's why we bought him for $1 million, and now we're getting $20 million for him. But people's gone on about him being cup tied for their teams. There's a few English teams in for him that could probably triple his wages. Who's never going to play in any of the cups anyway. I'm going to be gutted if Alfie leaves because his stats for scoring goals is unbelievable. It's amazing. He's only been there a couple of years, and we're talking about him breaking legends records. He's only 1 goal off it. But if he's signing contracts with other teams and agreeing terms and that,
yep.
I'm sad to say, if he's done that and says, right, I'm wanting this amount of money for it, get him out the door. And Gerrard's already realised that because he already went and spent $8 million on 2 strikers. So I think Alfie's realised there the last couple of months that it's no all about him anymore, which it's been for the last couple of years. And Alfie's reacted to it, and we're benefiting in the short term out of that. So I would hate to see him go, but if that's what he's wanting to do, and it's sort of, players are mercenaries these days. They're not really dedicated as like Dave McPherson the other night and that. Players like that. It's all about cash to a lot of players. And if that's the way Alfie's want to go, I appreciate your service. If you want to go, on you go, son. You go with my blessing. Can I just say one more thing? I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him going as a hero rather than a villain, because what he's done for the club is fantastic. And the longer this contract saga, if he's gone, if he's no drags out, I'd rather see him going at the front door with his head held high, smiling, and going out the back door and then straight to handcuffs like the villain. And that's why I feel about Alfie.
That's a good point.
Ox, there. Can I come in there, Ox? There's the likes of Sunday. There's the likes of Sunday's game. And let's be truthful. For me, I think this is going to be our sternest test today against that mob. See, at the moment, I don't think any of us could argue the point. There's nobody at our club now, striker-wise, including the two new guys, that could even attempt to push Alfie for no playing on Sunday. It can't happen. If Alfie scores goals, he must play. He must play. He's the best goal scorer we've got at our club.
And he's also the best player we've got, if I'm being honest. Port there.
Absolutely, and you got it bang on there when you say, see the amount of, see when you actually watched him tonight, he was running about, see the balls that he was laying off for Defoe, what do you call him, and Hadji, his link-up play even with wee Hadji, it was brilliant. His laying off was actually better than what Hadji started off with, because Hadji was getting a lot of the ball and a lot of his passes were underweighted. We Buffalo, every single time, his passes were finding his own players. And the amount of abuse that he takes, whether it's shoving or tackling, he's as strong as an ox for the size of him and the build of him. Strong as an ox. And his all-round game now, it's first class. It really is.
Ox, definitely. Alfie's evolution at Rangers under Steven Gerrard is second to none, mate. When he first came to Rangers, my opinion, under previous coaches, he was raw. He was, he was just always quick to turn and have a crack at goal from any angle. He was greedy, just a raw, young man. But since he's came under the tutelage of Steven Gerrard and his coaches at Ibrox, he's brought, his touch is improved, his dribbling ability's improved, his strength's never been in doubt, because that's, his nickname's the Buffalo. That's never been a doubt in my opinion. But his all-round play now, mate, like Blue Star touched on, or bringing other guys into the game, he's more than just a striker in my opinion, mate. And I tell you, I keep saying this about him, there's not many strikers in Europe right now that can contain a back four the way that man has in Scotland and more so in Europe. We've seen him against Porto, mate, against Pepe, who was regarded as a world-class defender at one point. The Porto midfield defender Alex Telles, Brazilian international. He came out in his own that night. Oxy, that was one of the best performances I've seen. Wilfredo Morelos against top side. Porto are a Champions League side, mate, in my opinion. I'd love him to stay. I just think he has to.
Did Pepe not say enough's enough and get off?
That's what he did. That was right. He did. He'd enough of him. Real Madrid, Porto, Portugal. And he believes him that much. It walks off. It walks off a pitch, mate. We've got a player in our hand here. We've got a player, in my opinion, that should be worth 25 plus. But because he's a wee bit of petulance doing again, and it creeps into his game, and and a wee bit of laziness and moods, it makes clubs worry about him next year, and that's something we have to get out of his game. He causes clubs to worry about him, because they're going to spend big money, and they want the best. And in my opinion, Alfie is the best. I'll put it out to the whole panel. I see George Logan's trying to get next year. Sorry, I'll put it to the panel. Who would you all have? And try not be too biased. If you were in charge of any European team, right now, who would you have? The guy from across the road that's meant to be 40 million plus, or Alfredo?
Well, yeah, it's an easy question, isn't it? It's Port. It's easy. It's Alfredo Bridgman.
100% Alfredo. 100%.
Bostar.
There's no debate there. Ox, there's also adding on to that one. Look at that guy McBurney. Now they hear to the guy, unless you're hitting a high ball. And have you seen the guy trying to trap a ball? Seriously. And yet somebody's willing to just splash out 20 million just like that. It's an absolute crime that Alfredo, simply because he's wee bit of petulance now and again, that guy's worth plenty in the present market. And as you just said, Ox, his all-round game has transformed that much. It's incredible. I watched him tonight, and the amount of balls that the wee guy was holding, and there was 2 or 3 of them sometimes under his ankles trying to get it off him. They couldn't get it off him. And every single time he found one of our players with, his laying off was amazing to watch. It really was. Plus, he took his 2 goals exceptionally well.
I don't think it's a night he'll make his price tag. It's the Florentina goals, the performances against Porto, the game he had in Russia a couple of seasons ago. Even if you think back, that cup final, if he'd his shooting boots on, his actual performance, he could have scored 5 goals a day.
Easy. Here.
You know, he absolutely dogged them, you know. That's what everybody else has done. He's done it against top teams. Yeah.
Consistently, Ox. It's been consistent as well. Yep, 100%, mate. You know,
it's the one drawback with him. See the amount of chances that he's missed against that mob. It is a drawback because, let's be honest, as you just said, you brought that game up, and you're right, he could have had 5 easy. 3 of them, me and you could have scored with our eyes shut. It's just one of the crazy, peculiar things. He scored harder. He scored harder, more difficult goals.
Well, you're speaking about
just one of these.
I was just going to say, it may in fact be the result of the 2 games against Celtic where he was outstanding but couldn't put the ball in the net. It might be something in there that's caused the wee hiatus in his form. A lot added to the other things, like there's just something really weird that's happened to him, and all of a sudden he went away a wee bit. Okay, there you go, he's back now, and this is what we're looking for: the smiling Buffalo. Get there and do your stuff, son.
If that's the case, Bridgman, I can't wait to see the outpouring of that wee man when he actually scores against them. That'll be a great day.
He'll be in the crowd before you know it. He'll be right over that barrier and right into that crowd. He'll upset them, you know that. He'll just
another reason why I want him to stay. Good point, Ox.
Gary, how do you come, mate?
You can't argue. Alfredo, you're saying about the games against Porto. His goals against PSV, man, those 2 he does. And I feel for him. The Celtic game you're on about there, he could have had 4 or 5 goals. And I hope we see him scoring against that mob. I really do. I think that would settle a lot for him. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder maybe with that, or maybe not doing what we all feel we should have done. But as a fan, what I've had more good times and bad times with him. I've wanted to chin him a couple of times for the sending offs and the trouble he's put the team in a few times. But I think he's learned for that, and I think you have to go through crap that he's done to learn.
Alex, but Ellis is that important to our team when we play if he stays, because if he wants to go, let him go. It's one of the mistakes that Stevie Gerrard made last year when he played the four in front of him in the home game against them the first game of the season.
Yeah, I agree with that. He made a mistake. He showed Celtic far too much respect by changing the team to suit them. and it backfired on him big time. But he's not made that mistake since. But listen, mate, we've got a £30 million striker on our hands here when the guy's firing. He's proved it in the European levels. The only monkey that he needs to get off his back is by scoring against them. Our media are trying to punt that wee guy for 10 million. You know, they just want rid of him because they know he's a huge threat when he does. See, when he scores that first goal against Celtic, the rest will come and they know it. So I thought that was quite cute with Gerrard tonight as well, with his comparison with McCoist. McCoist is a legend at the club because he's won trophies. He's basically saying to Alfie, you stay here, wee man, you win trophies and you'll be loved forevermore with the Rangers support.
Aye, his goal scored record. What's that? His goals per minute, Port Bear?
100%, mate. You know, Buffalo's...
Come on, what's his goals per minute?
You're at it.
On the spot against that.
I know, what's he all like? What are you like, mate?
He's after him.
He's on my case tonight, isn't he?
I think you should hold your own case there, pal, and just tell him. You know it. Just tell him.
Do you know the difference between him and me, Bridgeman?
I don't want to say too much.
I would have made it up.
No, I can't do that. That's telling porcupines. I'm not doing that, mate. No chance.
Why?
Because there's bears out here that know this stuff, and I'm
somebody from Port Glasgow, and you don't want to tell a lie.
No, I do not.
Brett, well, the one you came out with, Port, you'd have been better telling lies.
Has Morelos not scored about 80 goals in his Rangers career?
I'll check it out for you because I can't trust him to get the start.
You just knew something that was going to come in, didn't you?
How do you think he's doing, Port? How do you think he's doing, Morelos, at the moment? What's his record, do you reckon?
What, this season?
No, in total, mate, in total.
I'll go for about 130 games.
Gary, I'm going to tell you once more, your name's Gary.
Gary, hold your
your name's Gary, mate. Port Bear, how do you think he's doing?
In the 3 seasons, league goals, I would say 40, 45, 46.
45, 46.
In the 3 seasons.
What do you think, Gary? Yes, that's how it works.
I'm going to say Gary's career. The Rangers' career, he's scored about 80 goals and about 30 assists. I'm going to say he's played about 140 games, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Well, we've got a new stat man. He's played 143 games. Started in 122. He scored 79. 1 penalty. 41 yellow cards and 7 reds.
41 yellow cards, yeah. that's probably the most important stat of the lot. 41 yellow cards, aye, okay.
But, I mean, it's impressive. He scored big goals into Europe. 20 of the goals have came in Europe, Port. That's the point I was making, you know. Big goals.
Aye, I was covering league goals, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, you know, I think in league goals, as we know, was it 19? That's 20. Obviously, because the other night he's 1 goal behind Ali McCoy. You know, he is. And for me, Oxdear, is it really a big thing in my eyes about not scoring against Celtic? Is he going to be remembered for that? I think, in my personal opinion, I'd rather be remembered for scoring against the bigger teams than Celtic. You know, i.e. Porto, Braga, etc. Even the one just, you know, against Liga Warsaw, mate, you know, he's been absolutely outstanding, the wee man. Some of your massive games.
Wonderful, just wonderful.
You know, he's helped us qualify for tournaments. He's scored in tournaments, mate. He scored against some of the best teams in the tournaments. For me, that's better, Oxford, than scoring against them. It'd be great to score against them. Of course it would. Mm-hmm. But what are you remembered for?
What's what you're saying? What's what you're saying?
No, through his career, what's he going to be remembered for?
Missing a penalty at Hampden, mate.
There
you go. Against them.
That was a cracker.
Portbear, can I just say something? Jeff G had said earlier on, I meant to say to you, when you were speaking about Jermaine Defoe, he was saying that pointing out that Jermaine Defoe was the top scorer in the league last year. Rangers top scorer.
League goals.
I'm saying that in the league, yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, I think Morelos has became a better player under Gerard Port.
That's what we're talking about, Ox, here. If you think he's hold-up play, when many times he ignored people to lay it back and run again, he was just trying to roll people all the time, if you remember. He would just roll, use his brute strength to get a shot and goal. But now he's looking for 1-2s, he's looking to play other people in. And that's massive, mate, because if you want to play at the top level, they don't want somebody that just keeps, that doesn't bring anything else into the, that front line. Because of the role he plays, he has to be able to do it all. Otherwise, if you can only score, then you need a partner. But how many teams in Europe right now, mate, play with two up front? There's not many.
No fashionable. Anyway, I've been joined with somebody with a bit of sense.
Oh dear.
George E.K., how we doing, brother?
All right, lads. How you doing? Good night.
George P.K., how you coping, pal?
Hi, George. All right, Bridge, man. How you doing, Oscar? All right?
I'm doing well, thanks. You still parking out at the what do you call it, the Finnison? You still parking at Finnison?
No, Finnison. No, Finnison's out the window now. I tried to phone earlier on, but I couldn't get through, man.
We knew it was you. George, we knew.
Wasn't letting them else in.
We knew it was you, George. We didn't want you in.
I probably was or not, but I'm telling you, man, the Hall was walking up with like Fingal Street, Mary Hall. Oh my God, I'm not going to make it. I did, and I must admit, man, good drink of the day, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, man.
Good
you know
result,
you're up here to predict 5-0.
No, 4-0. I went for George. I can't. No, it might have been me that went for 5, George. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Grab the kudos.
No, it was 4. I went for 4, George.
I was a good one, didn't he? Good.
Professionals are what they was used. Didn't get out of first gear, but won the game comfortably.
I must admit, what position was Kemar Roof playing?
Number 10.
That's a good question. That is a good question. Blue Star.
Is that where he was meant to be?
Blue Star.
I think he was everywhere. I mean, they covered every blade of grass with you guys. He was absolutely brilliant, and he really was. Where was he meant to be playing? He must have been playing number 10 because he had Roof and Atan on, didn't he?
Yep.
So he must have been obviously supposed to be playing behind day too.
It was Ruth who was talking about Blue Star.
No, he was talking about.
Oh, sorry, I thought he was talking about Alfie. Or Ruth. I don't know. It was a weird one for me. I really couldn't tell you where he was meant to be playing.
I was the same. I was like, where position is he playing?
All right,
in my opinion, guys, I think Itten was a focal point tonight. I think the idea of playing Itten up front tonight was to get him off the mark, get him his goal. And I think Root, in my opinion, it's only my opinion, guys, you can shoot me down. I think Roof was asked to play in the whole night behind and link with him and get as close to him as they could. That's only my opinion.
How many touches did they all make?
Who?
Roof.
Stato.
17. Jesus, that was only first half.
Roger.
Brilliant.
Oh, you wait, Oxia.
Oh, brilliant.
Next game, I'm going to start you. I'm going to statisize you.
Oh, marvellous.
First night he's caught me out. First night.
Right, I'm no one for spreading stories. You know that, Bridge, right?
We've got a few experts in the lobby at that.
You know that. But there's a guy I know, he does everything, takes all his notes, and it's in a My Little Pony book.
Very good.
What kind of pen do I use, Ox? Yeah?
It's a pink glittery one.
Oh, Portman, he's got your number.
Listen, Rangers are a club for everybody and anybody.
He's got your number. Portman, he's got your number.
Aye, we are the people.
Right,
Unbelievable
right, Port, get back on it. Where was Ruth playing?
As I said, mate, in my opinion, he was playing in that wee sort of free role behind, basically behind Itten, and he was to drift left and right and support as much as you can. If you remember back to when Ruth played through the middle and tried to play Itten out on that right side, I think it didn't work. So what they did, they told Itten to get closer. So I think that's the role he was playing. He was to get close to Itten, and I think all the boys were told to try and get the big man his first goal. But he's probably sitting in the dressing room tonight, kicking himself because Morelos comes off the bench and gets two, and Defoe gets one. The poor guy, man, he must be sick. He must be sick. He must be sitting sick. He does, mate. He does. Aye, he does.
A job and a half in their hands, haven't they? Really, I mean, it's to walk into, try to get into this club and team, and some of the players have been playing really well. Others not too great. And then all of a sudden, a European game comes in, and everybody wants to play. And the ones that get a chance to play do no too bad. What are they going to do right enough? Well, wait a minute, there's a couple of substitutes coming on, and they batter a couple of goals in between. Oh my goodness gracious!
Well, I've got a question, guys. What happens if Morelos does stay when you've got Roof, Itten and Defoe?
I think that's how you win the league. That's how you win the league.
Aye.
Yes, Alex, on you go, mate. You can take that one.
I was just going to say there, see what I'm loving about the team this year is we're getting goals for all over the park. I mean, they're Tavernier chipping in, Golson chipping in, you know,
Barisic,
Roof, Barisic, you know, midfield, Arfield's scoring, Kent scoring. You're getting we were so reliant on Morelos for the last couple of years, you know, and he was the focal point.
Right.
If he wasn't scoring, we weren't winning. But by the way, I'm going to have to go, guys. I'm going to Ken a wee hon by RangersRadio tonight, but enjoyed the show.
All right,
cheers, Alex.
Here's a stat you must have.
All the best,
pal.
Good night,
you
guys.
must have this one. How many games is that now? How many goals have we scored and how many have we conceded?
We've conceded none. That's easy.
Are you copying Linda's homework again?
And I'm going to say, is it 15, mate?
I don't know, mate. I'm asking you.
So you're asking me? I am going to say 15 goals, mate, aye.
We've conceded one goal so far away in Germany, haven't we?
Well, Leverkusen, I'm not counting that. I'm not counting that.
So what are we, plus 11 in the league? And then 5 and 8. So that's 16 goals, yeah?
16. There you go.
Is it plus 11? Am I right with plus 11?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so we're plus 11, so we scored 5 and 8, so that's a total of plus 16. In competitive games, we've lost one goal against a very, very good side. Can't argue with that, Port, really.
Fox is saying 21 goals.
21 goals, one against, yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Where does he get the figures from? And why can't Stato get them?
It's plus 15 in the league, sorry. Plus 15, so 5 and 8 is plus 20. So 20 goals in total competitive games.
Right.
And one against.
Wow. On fire. That's pretty good figure, isn't it? Pretty good figure. And you know we could have scored lots and lots more, truth be told, the way we were misfiring in a lot of games.
Oxjack, can you quickly look at last year's and see the difference? Is there a big difference?
At this particular time?
Aye, yep.
Well, I couldn't do that, but I've just cut across, mate. I'll go to Alan. Evening,
Sorry,
Alan.
mate, yep.
No, I'll come right back to it, mate. Evening, Alan.
Good evening, gentlemen. How's all doing?
All right, mate. What's on your mind?
All right.
Do you know, just listening to the show tonight, it's been absolutely fantastic. I was trying to get on earlier, but you have a popular show tonight. Thought we played very well tonight. Thought we didn't get out of first gear. But at the same time, doesn't it all look good? People coming on, people fighting for places, subs coming on, scoring goals, and the big issue about Morelos, I hope he does stay. I really do hope he does stay. I've seen that wee cheeky smile on his face again, and it fills me with confidence that this wee guy's going to go on, get the starting 11 against the Imps, and then go on and start tallying his goals up.
That's a game. That's a game that counts. That's a game that counts. And I totally agree with you 100%, mate. But, you know, tonight means nothing if you don't go and continue to, you know. Somebody touched on it. I think it was Blue Star, one of the toughest games of the season, against Hibernian at the weekend.
Exactly.
That means nothing. That's your bread and butter is the weekend. I've said on here many a times I would give up the European run, and I know financially it helps the club, but I'd give up that to go and win that league. That's only my personal opinion, by the way.
So you think this result tonight, or today even, might actually spur them on to go across the Easter Road and gub the Highbees?
Aye, 100%. Alan, what I think is, see, tonight, I probably find, I'm not going to say the manager probably told the boys to, you know, go out and try their hardest. I don't believe that for a minute. But what he'd have wanted, they'd have been well warned, you know, don't, you know, we're playing the Red Imps, it's a European tie, yeah, but don't go out there and, you know, throw yourself into stupid challenges, get stupid injuries. There's plenty of guys here that are quality on the bench. Let's just go and win the game professionally, like we did today. As the gaffer touched on, we didn't go out of first gear. We won the game 5-0, not coming out of first gear. So there's been a lot of energy reserved for the weekend, mate.
Port, I owe you an apology.
Don't bother. It's all right. It's all right.
Are you recording this? Are you recording this?
A wise man told me sometime, you never apologise.
No, mate, that goal against Bayer Leverkusen was actually last season when you think about it, wasn't it?
So it was.
Oh, of course, aye.
Has that Stato got the stats wrong again?
Aye, sorry. Right,
well, there you go.
First time ever. Jeez, oh.
Yes, mate.
The fox in the box must be gunning for year to year with Taverniera.
Oh, mate, listen, mate. Every time Taverniera's a good game, he opens up a new bottle of Grey Goose. You ought to see his bin, mate. You know,
can I say something here?
Yes, mate.
But unlike...
On you go, mate.
I was just going to say, I know as a fan watching the game tonight, you never really go out of first gear, but a potentially tricky tie away in Europe to win 5-0, if you're in first gear, as long as we keep the opposition in neutral, I'm happy with that. Like,
bang on, mate. Bang on.
Yep.
Well into our quaking.
That's another game next Thursday, isn't it? Keeps the games coming.
You just keep and beat what's in front of you and roll on the next one. The important game is Sunday with the Hibs, and I think it should. Hopefully, it's another 5 against them on Sunday. Like we've got a couple of players coming back. I think we've changed the team tonight. We went in 1-5 now away in Europe. I mean, and we didn't even play really. The class shone through. There's stars stood up tonight and banged it in when it couldn't at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts, Ox? I've not heard your thoughts tonight. What do you think of tonight's performance? Who played well, and you know, how did
after 8 games last season, mate, we scored 19 and
right.
conceded 5. Yeah, so we conceded 5 goals. Mm-hmm. So we've actually scored more goals after the different kind of games, I know, but scored more goals and kept and conceding less. That's a good recipe. Listen, mate, I'll need to save your question to another time. It's been an absolutely blast. Roger
that, mate.
Roger.
10-4.
Bridgeman, over to you.
Roger. Can I just say another magical night tonight, apart from my iPad just falling apart on me. so apologies if I interrupted anyone. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans here on Rangers Radio, fabulous. For me, fabulous victory tonight. Fabulous victory. Well done, the Rangers. Everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers are the ones that need us. Keep it going. Yeah.
Can I thank all the callers tonight? Good fun. Everybody in a decent mood. Good victory of the Rangers. But I think it'd only be fair Port Bear. A special shout out to Brian, the first time caller. If he's know what Rangers Radio's all about, I don't know what it is.
Here.
Yeah. Port Bear. Oh. Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. We'll be joined by JFK. Take it away, Old School Blue.